Hey tennis fans, I'm Grace Carter and this is Tennis Now presented by Tennis Express. Tennis Express, order today and it ships today. The sport of tennis has lost a true legend. Hall of Fame coach Nick Bollettieri died at the age of 91 on Sunday, December 4th. In a career that spanned more than a half-century, Nick Bollettieri coached 10 world #1 players and is one of only 5 coaches in history inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. The founder of the Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy in Bradenton, Florida, had recently returned home after he had been hospitalized. Bollettieri was surrounded by his loving family and friends when he passed away. He's survived by his wife, Cindy Eaton, 7 children, and multiple grandchildren. He was inspired to coach by legendary Green Bay Packers football coach Vince Lombardi. You see, Nick had given him a tennis lesson once and charged him $17.64. Bollettieri created the concept of the full-time International Tennis Academy with the Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy. He impacted the lives of players and coaches and helped make American tennis the land of the aggressive baseliner. A charismatic, controversial, and self-described crazy character, Bollettieri was a master motivator who inspired players to dig down deep and extract the greatness from within. The superstars that Bollettieri coached can fill their own wing in the International Tennis Hall of Fame, including Andre Agassi, Boris Becker, Jim Courier, Monica Seles, Maria Sharapova, and Marcelo Rios. Grand Slam champions including Venus and Serena Williams, Pete Sampras, Martina Hingis, Yevgeny Kafelnikov, Mary Pierce, Peter Korda, Marat Safin, Anna Kournikova, Max Mirny, Mark Knowles, Amalie Mauresmo, Yelena Yankovic, and more. They all trained at Bollettieri's academy or were coached by him at some point. The man with the perpetual tan and those ever-present sunglasses was much more, though, than just a tennis coach. The Pelham, New York native was a mentor, a motivator, and a dream maker for players and coaches for decades. For some, including Jimmy Arias, who helped put the Bollettieri Academy on the map, Nick was a father figure. He said Bollettieri became a surrogate father to him. Nick talked about discipline, self-control, but most of all, he believed in his players. The son of a pharmacist, Jimmy Bollettieri, the young Nick Bollettieri, was a paratrooper and dreamed of being a lawyer, but he soon realized he didn't want to be Perry Mason, he wanted to be Fred Perry. Empowered by deep belief, the former University of Miami Law School dropout borrowed $2 million from his buddies to transform a tomato field in Bradenton, Florida, into the Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy. From that former tomato patch with a skeleton staff of just 22 at the beginning, Bollettieri changed the business of tennis coaching, building the world's first international live-in tennis academy that eventually welcomed students from over 45 countries and grew into the IMG Academy. When the Bollettieri Tennis Academy launched in 1978, full-time tuition there was $12,000 a year. 3 students from that first Bollettieri class, Jimmy Arias, Carleen Bassett, and Kathleen Horvath, went on to crack the top 10, and the academy was off and running. Bollettieri was an outside-the-box thinker who never backed down from sparring with critics. Hall of Famer Jim Courier credited Bollettieri for creating the hothouse Bradenton backcourt intensity that bloomed champions. It has been said that there's a fine line between genius and madness. Well, Bollettieri believed crazy and creative were essential elements to his success. He said, "Sane people do things they know they can succeed in. Crazy people do things that people say you can't do." And that was Nick Bollettieri. His passion for tennis, people, and life was inspiring, and it was infectious. His greatest reward, he said, wasn't Grand Slam champions, it was seeing the growth in his students. So rest in peace, Nick Bollettieri, and thank you for all the joy and passion and love you brought to our sport. Something tells us if there are tennis courts in the world beyond this one, Nick is already giving lessons and sharing his advice. If you have any Nick Bollettieri memories you'd like to share, please join the conversation in the comments section. We'll see you next time here on Tennis Now.